I've always been involved with the Democratic Party. I started working in the Democratic Party when I was a teenager, 15, 16 years old. In high school, I got involved in local races. I got involved in the grassroots effort in local races, helping school board candidates, city. I was from a small town. I wouldn't say city. I was from Louisiana, which is a small town, but the town council. I got involved in those races. So I always had an interest in politics because politics was the mechanism to improve your community. When I was in college, I was a campus leader for statewide races, as well as college as well as law school. I was a campus leader in gubernatorial races, some of the statewide races, and I ultimately had more of a direct involvement in politics when I was assistant city attorney in New Orleans. I got involved in it. I was a coordinator and a worker in some of the city council races in New Orleans and the mayor's races, and that was graduate training. Yeah. It provided me with some of the best training that I've gotten. And of course I ran for the DSCC in 2008, ran for office to state rep in 2007, and ultimately ran and won in 2011. My intentions or ambition then was to help to rebuild the party. I mean, I was quite aware of the lack of democratic strength. It wasn't a lot going on and compared to what needed to be going on. Mm-hmm. I didn't see cohesive efforts being directed toward getting Democrats elected around the state. It was fractured. Everyone who ran for office statewide, or in most cases some of the local areas, we pretty much was a lot of independent effort, but nothing coordinated. Mm-hmm. Once I announced my candidacy, I was contacted by some representative of the Democratic CAUCUS, and they called me and they said, "I see you've announced your candidacy. We'd like to get involved with your campaign, and we want to get Democrats elected, and we want to work to get Democrats elected around the state." And my first comment, well, it's about time. I said, this is the first instance of a coordinated effort that I've seen in the last 8 years. I was very excited about that because they said we're going to provide you with support and experts, strategies. We're going to provide the resources that are necessary to win a race. And I said, we can turn this thing around. I said, I want to be a part of that. The solution, I think the plan that the party should embrace to help the party recover is, one element of it is going back to the methods that the party used that made it successful in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and some part of the 80s, was the direct contact, directly engage our voters. Well, the Democratic Party mastered that because they mastered grassroots effort, and that's what I did in my campaign. I think that we've lost some of that of the party, and I see us being on the way to getting that back. Because voters are watching; they know if it's just rhetoric. If they don't know it's rhetoric when you say it, they're going to know in 6 months. And we have to be consistent with delivering on what we promise. We can, as a party, we can recapture that sense of confidence that the voters have in us, had in us at the time. We can recapture that. We can rebuild this party to being a viable party, and we can be sufficiently represented in statewide offices in the next election cycle, which we're not right now. I made a promise to the Democratic caucus during the time that they were working with my campaign, that I would help to rebuild the party. I have a leadership experience that can allow me to make a positive impact in the party and have a positive impact on our goals and objectives. I'm in the position now of vice chair for elected officials. Well, I wasn't certain I was going to run for that position. I was asked to run by some of the members of the party. They said, "We think you'll be able to do a good job. You're in the legislature now. You have the leadership experience. We think you'll be a good liaison between the party and the elected officials." At the time, I had just been elected to the legislature. I hold national office with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I'm the national treasurer. Last year I was the national vice president. You know, I have a law practice, and I talked to my wife about it. She said, well, you know, you're really involved in a lot of things. This is, you know, you sure you need to do that? And I thought about it. I said, well, it's going to be pretty challenging because I'm going to want to do a good job in it. But I do have a lot of things that I'm trying to get off the ground based on some of the other things I'm involved in. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I have a commitment to the party, and I think I can. And my last comment to her before the election, when I was leaving home, I said, I think I can make a difference. So I'm gonna run.